Welcome to It's Time to Stand Up. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the problems of this pandemic and how we are neglecting our mental health in order to help out people who need it the most. But if we neglect ourselves, we can't help out other people. And I'm going to be using myself as an example of this, of how losing your minds is not going to help you or anybody else out. By the way, I'm going to be combining a fictional narrative I created for this episode mixed in with my real experiences. To give you an FYI about how I'm going to be writing and performing this episode. People think there is no time for me to focus on my problems because I need to focus all my free time on helping other people out. There is never a good time to help me out because other people need the help more. There should be no focus on myself because this is not the time to help myself. This is the time to help other people out. Caring about my mental health in order to improve my life is harming society. So it's not important because the world is on fire and I need to take care of other people before I take care of myself. This is what I need to understand. My mental health is not important as ending the horrible things that are in this world at this point in time. I'm not an important person to care about right now. I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. And every single time I'm about to go crazy, I think about I'm helping people out, so it's worth it at the end. If I go crazy, at least I help people out. To me, that's a small price to pay for improving the world around me. That's how you improve the world. Sometimes you have to have a small price to pay for going insane. And if I go insane, I know I help people by making me feel good. Yes, charity is about not helping other people out, helping make you feel better about yourself. That's what all charity is, to make people who do the charity make them feel better about themselves, not helping the actual people that the charity says that they're helping. That's what I keep on thinking about as a way for me not to lose my damn shit. I know that sounds like me being a fucking asshole, but if it prevents me from losing my mind, then it's okay. I feel like there's I don't know how to explain this. This is why I keep on saying like. I feel like this is a bad thing for ruining my mental health, but in this state, I think it was a good thing because it's for the greater good. How nonsensical that sounds. If I help people improving their lives, I will always think losing my own mind will be worth it one day. Because when I go crazy, people will praise me for it. That sounds insane, I know, but people think that it will help me. It will ruin my mental health, but it's a good thing, and people say good for him. He's given up something that he praises, his mind, for the greater good. That is delusional thinking, but it's the only way to help me get through these tough times. Don't tell me you do the same thing as well. If people go crazy, they think there's something that is greater, that it's okay to do so. But I'm harming people by not helping the most important cause. myself. Because if I go crazy, then how can I help people out? How can I help people when I can't help myself? You need to help yourself before you help others. This is a lesson I learned too late. How can you improve other people's lives when you don't have your house in order? You're gonna go and ruin people's lives if you don't help yourself first. Thinking this way, by thinking it's a great cause, so it's okay to ruin your life for it, is no way to live. But sadly enough, feeling like you should care about yourself and throwing away your life is a good thing made me think I had a backbone or a spine because I'm doing something great. Horrible way to live, but that's how I felt during this point in my life around mid-2020. I'm just thinking right now in this mindset, it's necessary to improve everyone's life but mine. Understanding that what I'm doing is the most important thing to do in one's life. So right now, what's really on my mind is fighting myself. Right now, I'm thinking to either help people or help myself. I think there's no good answer. No matter what, I feel like I'm going to lose. I need to focus on the right answer for me and society. So, I need to find the best answer. The only way to answer this, I know, is to ask Twitter. As you know, Twitter and social media have completely rational ideas that have no emotion to it. And it never makes people go crazy. People going crazy on social media is all fake news from a mainstream media who hates social media to a point that they're trying to convince people not to use it because they hate people having their own voices and saying it up for themselves. That's the only reason they promote fake stories about people going crazy on social media. You can tell I'm going crazy because when I ask people on social media, you can put two to two together what happened. If I need to spell it out for you, is Twitter have a very nice response of me telling me to go fuck off. You can tell it was really emotional to me because it was very hard for me to explain this. This is causing me to ruin my mental health thinking it was a good thing because my mental health is not important. In my mind at that point, I thought I was never allowed to think for myself again because I ruined my chance of critical thinking skills, so I'm never allowed to think for myself ever again. Yes, I know that's a bit of an overreaction, but that's how I felt, and looking back on it, that was in no way for me to think. I was in no shape of helping anybody but myself. I think that most people were going for the same thing, but they don't want to admit it. I think trying to shame people into supporting movements or ideas because they think it's great and it's on everybody's mind, meanwhile everybody's losing their mind, is not a good way to go about it. I don't know how to go about it, but I know if people are losing their mind, that's not a good way to improve society, which is probably why we saw a lot of riots and a lot of fighting and a lot of violence, because everybody lost their mind and don't know how to deal with it. So what did I do when I lost my mind? I'm starting to think about living in a fantasy world where I'm the best human in the world and everybody will love me. I will help everyone else to improve the world. That's what I really thought. what do I think I will really do? Because for whatever reason, I thought I was a superhero with a superpower of not seeing reality. Yes, I'm losing my mind, and I don't know how to deal with it. But this fantasy helped me live my life, and I thought it was a good thing. Why live in a fantasy world is a good thing? Because it helps me understand why people hate reality. People hate reality because reality is so crushing. It makes you lose hope, makes you nihilist. It makes you think that you're not like anything in the real world. So you create a false facade around you to make you feel like that everything is good. You're going to make everything from it. But what nobody thinks about when they're in a fantasy world is what you do when you wake up from it. How would you react when your fantasy comes crashing around you? When reality comes crashing, it makes you think that your life is over. Yes, people think their whole entire life collapsed just because they have no way of living their own life. That's how most people think. They think their fantasy world is their real world. Living in a fantasy will never help you out. It may help you out in a short term, but will never help you out in a long term. It will never make you think that you're living in a better place, because it will come crashing around you in the most inopportune time and make everyone think you're insane. It right now feels like I have lost hope and lost my damn fucking mind. And I feel like I've been guilt tripped to think this way. I feel like everyone is losing hope and is completely given up on their lives. It feels like everything is completely hopeless. Now, I feel like I'm hopeless to think that there's hope in this world. Because what I've really noticed, that if you have hope, that means you hate everyone. Yeah, you hate everyone for having hope. That's how crazy things have gotten. I feel like you can't have hope anymore, because if not, then you will be crushed. Because everyone's going crazy and eating each other. Now, I need to come up with a conclusion here for this episode. Since you can tell I've lost my mind. Even with some fictional elements in it, you can tell I feel really, really passionate. Even towards the end, I feel like everyone feels like they're on the edge of disaster. Because they feel like they had to put others over themselves. It's putting everyone in a danger zone where they're going to lose their damn minds. I feel like the violence we're seeing right now is because everyone's losing their minds. People are getting more and more delusional right now because they're so negative. They're losing everything. They feel like they need to have these toxic attitudes because toxic people, everyone, have in their lives is making them think this is a good way of living their lives. They're living in a fantasy world that is not a good thing. And they feel like they can't have hope in this world that you need. I hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast. And I hope you bring in some enjoyment in my downfall of going insane.